Hello everyone, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life, and I'm here for 30 days of sketches, Scraptember, and we are on to day 11. Today's theme is to use Enamel Dots or Nouveau, and we have JQ Crafty joining us for our special guest. Please don't forget to go check out Scrappy Sisters, what Katie and Jess have done today, and of course Laura Alberts as well. And then everyone else playing along. There's tons of people playing along every single day. Be sure to check those out. All the links will be down below. When I saw this sketch, I knew right away that I was going to try to do a boy theme layout with a wreath, because when you see wreaths, for me, a lot of times I think of maybe a layout about myself or about Nora. I don't tend to do them with boys unless it's maybe Christmas. But yeah, I really wanted to try and masculinize. Is that a word? I don't think that's a word. But make the wreath a boy theme. So that's my plan here. I've got these super cute photos of Barrett. This was right when he was learning to have some tummy time, and he was actually happy about it, because at first was not having it, but he was happy there, working on having his head up and stuff like that. So cute. I love the photos so much. And I did have them in the smaller size, so I'm going to end up using 3 in each little cluster instead of 2. Then I'm just going to take all the time and back this cut file. And I'm telling you, I am not good at backing cut files. This layout took me a week, an entire week to do, because summer was a really hard time for me to scrap. I wasn't getting very much done anyways. But then when you go to try to back a cut file on top of it, I was doing this one in the middle of the third heat wave we had gone through, so I had to only do it in the morning, and yeah, it took me forever. But it's okay. I'm using the Legendary collection from Coco Vanilla Studio, and I just started with the leaves and worked my way around using this gorgeous collection. I really love this collection and made it work, and I'm so happy with the way that this wreath ended up turning out. I think it's perfect. It's not even boy themed necessarily, but it's not that pink and purple and teal type wreath that I probably would end up doing if I wasn't intentionally trying to make this not like that. So I'm really happy with how it turned out. I am going to go ahead and put it against that gray background and then border it with the rainbow. I just love all the pops of color. It blends everything in together. And then I took the 2 floral spaces within that wreath, the really big floral places, left them blank, and that's where my photos are going to be. I did add in a little flare as well on there. I did want to say, I'm not actually a fan of Enamel Dots / Nouveau. I struggle with them. It's not something that I bought a bunch with my last spending when I went spending this spring, because I'm trying to make myself use them a little bit more, but I actually struggle with them. So if you struggle with them or you don't have them, my biggest thing to suggest would be use flare if you have it, or sequins. You can change it up. It doesn't, I mean, if you don't have it, you don't have it, right? Sometimes that's a product that people just don't buy. So don't worry about that. If you're trying to follow along and you don't have this particular supply, just use something else that works for it. You could even just take your a pen and just put little dots around, and it would totally do the same effect. So do what works for you and what makes you happy with your layouts. Remember, it's for you and your family, and we love to look at them, but at the end of the day, it is what makes you happy. It's your project, it's your creativeness, so do what makes you happy. All right, so you can see I'm working on it, putting a frame on one of each of the clusters there. I did go through every bundle of embellishments in this collection to try to make some things work. I did end up adding some stars, that little green tag I ended up adding. I put the stars kind of in a visual triangle around the wreath so that there's a bit there. You can see I used Tummy Time as my title because that's exactly what he's doing. I did place it where you can see it in the sketch. For the most part, I followed the sketch idea pretty closely. I liked the placing of the photos like that. I thought that was really neat. That's why I was drawn to the sketch in the first place. And one thing I'm really looking for is I know this collection has a bear theme in it, and we call Barrett bear or bear, depending on, what's going on. And so I do try to include, when it's appropriate, a bear theme of something in his layouts, because it's just kind of what we call him and how we associate him, and I try to make that work when I can. I was able to make that work in this situation. I just kind of tucked it in the top layer. You will see that. And for the enamel dots, I don't do anything exciting with them. I'm sure you're going to see some really awesome layouts with enamel dots today. I just use them to cover the flowers. They just are the centerpiece of the flowers, and that's what I ended up doing. I don't know. Like I said, I struggle with enamel dots, so the fact that at least I use some makes me happy. And then I add a couple word phrases, and I'm trying to figure out a way to fill that big yellow floral that you can see there. Something needs to go there, and I can't figure it out. In the end, I finally figured it out off camera. I'm just going to add a nautical, it's not nautical, a compass sign, whatever that thing is. I can't think of words today. Anyways, that goes down at the bottom, and I'm really happy with how this layout turns out. It makes me happy. I'm going to finish it off with some sequins as well. I had some really bright colorful ones that matched this collection. That was just a random little mini pack that I had in my stash, so I went ahead and picked that up. If you are interested in getting some sequins just in general, be sure to head on over to Spiegel Mom Scraps. There's always tons of different mixes available, and you can always use any one of us that are on the design team if you just use our names. So for example, mine would be Christy 15. It gives you a little discount too while you're shopping, so make sure to check that out if you're interested in some sequins. So many places, of course, that carry cut files. If you have a die cutting machine, you can check that out. I'm obviously going to say go check out Confessions of a Paper Addict because I'm on the design team and I love Virginia's cut files. They're just fabulous. This particular one is just one that was in my stash. I don't know who it's by, but I had it and I wanted to use it. I am trying to work through my stash, and so this is a great way to go ahead and do that. And I think that's it. Like I said, don't forget to check out all the links, and I hope you play along with this sketch because it was a fun one, and I'm really, really happy with the way this one turned out. So much so I even gave you a close-up. All right, here's a look at my finished layout. I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye, everyone.